see. I'm
All
actually
right.
excited for this.
Yeah, I've never done this through Zoom before. Webinar is now streaming. Ooh, fancy.
Oh, I think we're going live. Oh, wait, I think we might be live.
It says we are.
Let's see. Let me check on my phone. Why is it not coming up? Is Facebook not like my own group?
Sebastian just went live.
Oh.
It just told me, it just said that you did.
Really?
Live interview. How Cat closed. He's talking about me.
Let's go. We are live. What's up, y'all? Oh, wait. Let me go into gallery view so they can see both of us. There we go. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We are live.
All right. Good deal.
What's up, y'all? We already have 7 people on. Let's go. Cool. What's up, Kendall? What's up, Jared? Y'all, for those of you just tuning in, get ready. This is about to be a spicy interview. This is gonna be so good. If you guys watch this on the replay at some point in the future, then I would say skip ahead to like the 2 to 3 minute mark is when we'll officially get started. We'll give you guys some time to jump on here live. Y'all, welcome. I'm chatting with the amazing Kat. Hi. And she's going to be talking to you guys about a few things. Number one, she just closed 12 grand in deals for her agency as a client of Agency Hypergrowth within the first 6 days of January of 2021, which is fucking insane. Let's go. And she's also just going to talk to you guys about her massive success in the program and working with us as a private client. So we're going to get into some really cool stuff, get into some of the nitty gritty that you'll share with how you're actually doing what you're doing, kind of what you've been utilizing that sets you apart from a lot of other agency owners and some of your struggles and all of that good jazz. So if you guys are watching live, give me some engagement here. Let's get a hashtag live in the comments and let me know if you guys have questions for Kat, by the way. Drop them in the comments as well, and we will answer them at the end of the interview. We'll do a little bit of a live Q&A. Cool. So with that said, I'm just going to give you the mic. And why don't you start by just telling everyone kind of like your general story? Just go as deep or as shallow as you want.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kat. I like dogs and cats. No. Okay. So there. Yeah, no, I'm done. Boom, I'm out. Sorry, bye guys. Just so you know, that's the secret. Okay, so so yeah, my name is Kat. I have been in digital marketing for like 3 years. I'm a copywriter by experience, blah, blah, blah. That's just kind of like my history. I got into digital marketing because, I don't know, because it was fun. And because I thought it was interesting because it related to copywriting. And so I don't know, I've been in the copywriting niche for like 10 years, something like that. And basically I've never made money at it. Thumbs up, y'all. But I enjoy it. So I've always done it for, $18 an hour or whatever. So I learned everything I learned everything that I know from working for little dinky companies in the middle of little dinky areas, doing what I like. So I'm going to steal her from you, Sebastian. And so
I am well aware of
this. Oh, good. As long as we're all on the same page here.
Yeah. Easy.
So, yeah, good deal. So, I joined Agency Hypergrowth in like September or October, I think. And I had a couple of clients, all of which have dropped at this point, and I'm not worried about it because they were all like I was charging like $500 to $600 a client. And I was like, this is too much. It's not too much, y'all. So if you're watching this like live or not live, it's not too much, y'all. And like the first thing that like I was talking to Kron's the guy who got me in here. He's fabulous, by the way. And he was like, what are you doing? You've been doing this for 3 years. Like, why are you charging $500? You're what? Like, we can help you with this. And I was like, sure you can. Yeah, you can. And I'm busy, I'm divorced, I have 2 kids, like there's lots going on in my life, and I still closed 12 grand like on the 3rd of January, just being me and using AHD stuff. So there you go.
It's so simple. People overcomplicate the shit out of this. Like, I closed 12 grand in 3 days by being me and doing the AHD stuff. That's it. Like, it's so simple. What's up, y'all? We have a bunch of new people jumping on. If you guys are watching live, welcome. Let me know. Give me a hashtag live in the comments. I'm talking to Kat, who is a private client of Agency Hypergrowth with us here. You've been a client for how long? Like 2 months-ish?
Three-ish at this point.
Yeah. Your progression's been so freaking cool to watch. Guys, obviously a lot of you guys are like, well, how much money did she make? She just banked 12 grand in the first like 3 days of January. And that's not including like all the other clients she signed with us here in the program over the last few weeks and months. So why don't we dive a little bit into some more specifics of your story? So what were you doing before Agency Hypergrowth, like in your agency? What were some of the things you were trying in terms of growth and all that?
I like talking to people, if you can't tell. I like talking to people. So I'm in a lot of groups, and like, so I tried, like, it's something I call the group method, which can be really effective, except for like me. It's not effective for like using other people's groups was not effective. It was effective in building my network, but it wasn't effective in like closing clients. I'm big on Upwork. I've made like $60,000 to $70,000 on Upwork, so my profile looks strong, but like I still wasn't getting the right clients there. There was a lot of networking. People were sending me business. And like the first thing I learned when I entered AHG is like, if someone says, "Hey, I have business for you, here's $500, you can say no." so like I like hold out, like I started holding out and like being like, no, I am valuable, damn it. Like that's good. And I started like being like, okay, well, $2,000 isn't that much, or it is, but it's not like, if you're going to triple it, like, of course it's not a big investment up front, you know, like, and so I started like reframing everything and reframing what I thought of stuff. So I tried pretty much everything, I think. I tried everything but cold email, which I don't know why, because it's actually pretty effective. I tried pretty much everything. And I got $500, $600 clients that dropped in 3 or 4 months that were poor, that didn't always pay their invoices on time. So that's kind of how it went. That's what happened.
Yeah. So similar to most agencies and kind of the place I was into before I really started growing my own is like, you're trying a bunch of different things. You think you're not worth jack shit. And so you charge really, really low. And you kind of just end up spinning your wheels.
Yep.
So guys, if you can resonate with Kat's journey and where she was at prior to seeing the success she's seeing now, give us a yes in the comments. Let us know, like, does that resonate with you guys at all? Like, you're kind of just charging $500 a client. I know for me, I was charging like literally $299 back in the day, and it's so silly.
Feels silly now.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
It totally does.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, so those were most of the struggles you were going through. Walk me through, like, whether it was a moment or a series of moments, or what did the process look like for you to go, you know what, A, I need help, and B, I need help from the team at Agency Hypergrowth?
If you could have dragged me kicking and screaming into AHG, I'm telling you, that's probably what happened. I was not a willing participant in my own growth. I think the biggest thing that you need to start changing is, like, this is going to be kind of personal, so forgive me when you rewatch this, y'all. But like, my life started changing. Like, I got divorced 2 years ago, and then my ex, after we got divorced, no longer had a me to nag him, so he no longer could keep a job. So like, he's a high-end programmer, so sometimes I would get the money and sometimes I wouldn't. And so how do you pay your rent in between the sometimes? Like how do you meet your basic needs? And so I'm like, if I can't meet my basic needs off of 40, 50, 60 hours of work a week without my ex-husband, depending on his whippity whappity wherever he is, like how do I grow if I can't even make ends meet? Like how do I grow as a person? How do I grow as, like, how do I keep my kids alive? Like, how do I do these things? And so like, that was like, I felt desperate and incredibly trapped in my own decision not to do a 9 to 5. And so like every other day, like I still think about it sometimes, because like sometimes, being completely honest, being an agency owner is not always a walk in the park. But sometimes you think, like, I used to be like, okay, let's just get a 9 to 5, just get a 9 to 5, just do it, you know, like suck it up, pay your rent and call it good. Oh, there's no art. And so, but that, it sucked. It straight up sucked. It sucked to think like that. It sucks to be in that place because you know you can be successful and you're not feeling that success. And then like the communities I was trying to prospect in were all those communities that thought that ads or SEO or that kind of stuff, that's all worth $200-$300 a month. And that was it. You know, those like, they don't have a very high margin and they don't necessarily have the money, and the money they do have, they put back into their own businesses, and they don't consider that an investment. Like I was looking in the wrong places for the wrong things and starving in the meantime. So not a great place for me to be. And I had an ad hit me. Thank you, Sebastian, for your fabulous copywriting. And you know, your book. And of course I read the book because I am also a copywriter and I enjoy good copy. And I joined this group, and I don't even remember what happened. Somehow I got on Karan's calendar. And it was a kicking, screaming moment for me. I did not want to do more. I didn't think I was worth more. And that's hard for me to say now, because I've always thought I was worth something. Wait, there's a book. No, Douglas, there's not a book. But Seb's writing is sometimes a book of story. So anyway, I was super unhappy to admit that I wasn't doing what I needed to do. That's it. Like, it was more like that. And so like Karan like walked me through that and all that kind of stuff. And then I remember the morning when I was like, okay, I'm going to talk to Karan, talk to this guy, and I'm going to say no. I'm just going to say no. I'm not going to do it. Like, I don't need this help. I don't need it. And I was walking to my little 10 by 10 office, right? Because I had just gotten it because I couldn't focus at home. And I couldn't pay for it, but, you know. And then, and I was like, I'm just going to say no. I'm just going to say no. I'm just going to say, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then I got in the Zoom call and he's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, going to say no. And then I didn't. So even though like just to be completely forthright, AHG is not a cheap investment, but like neither are you, right? So that's what kind of convinced me is like, if you like, you're always worth it. Always. So it's important to make the right investments, but that's kind of like putting that money forth and being like, all right, I'm going to do it. Suck it up. Let's go. Like that helped me for one focus more. And Karan was very like thought provoking, and he made me feel like I was worth something without being a butthole about it. And and so that kind of got me in the program. And when he was like, you should be charging like $2 or $3 grand a month, I was like, you're insane. That's more than I pay for like all of my utilities on my rent and my internet. Like, you're insane. And then I realized like it's not that insane. It's just not, you guys. It's just not. It sounds insane to some people because you're in the wrong circles. You're just talking to the wrong people. You're not making the right conversations with the right people, and you're not valuing your services correctly. Like, that's it. Like, it really comes down to that. And once you figure that out, once I figured that out, which took me a while, I'm still figuring it out. That's when success started following me around. That's when I was like, sure, $3 grand, let's do it. And they're like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Like they say these things because they mean it, because they know it's an investment. So once you like invest in yourself and you convince yourself you're worth it, it just comes down to convincing other people that you're worth it. That was a lot. Sorry. I'm going to stop talking now.
No, keep going, please.
No,
This interview is about you. So you talk all you want.
It's always weird because I never feel like I have value, but that's the thing, right? Because people are watching that and be like, whoa.
All right, y'all, hold on. We need to stop right now. Guys, if you're finding this interview valuable, which I know for a fact all 16, 17 of you are.
17.
If you aren't, then you better get your butt out of here. If you're finding this valuable, guys, give me a yes in the comments. Kat is questioning whether or not what she's saying is valuable right now, and we need to show her that it is. A little bit of external validation for you never heard anyone.
Oh no. Dope. Thank you. All right, very good.
Sweet. What's up, Nathan? What's up, Noor? Another private client.
Yeah, Noor's awesome. Hi, Noor.
First of all, thank you for sharing everything that you just shared, because some of it's personal and could be, feel vulnerable to share. So thank you. Thank you for sharing it with everyone that's watching. So just to kind of recap where we're at so far, you kind of talked about the problems you were facing before. You were just kind of scattered in how you were trying to get clients. Did Noor say something funny? I knew it.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you.
I didn't even have to see. I knew it. Sorry. So you had that moment where you decided I need help, and then you kind of stumbled upon us. So when you came into agency hypergrowth, what are the things that started to change? Like what were some of the shifts you experienced?
This word is overused, but mindset, mentality, confidence. Those are all things that started to shift. Like I started going through the training because there's like, of course, you enter any program, there's going to be some like, here's some pre-recorded stuff you need to watch, you know, and that was great. And so I started going through that. I'm like, yeah, implement. I've done this a million times before. Okay, like it's not that this is not the first program I've ever paid money to be in. I'm gonna be honest, right? This is not the first time I've tried to fix this stuff. So I was just like, okay, fine, good stuff. And then I hopped on the phone with Aaron. And like when you start to talk to the coaches that have this success, like they've been where you've been. Like, it's like Sebastian, who like seems like he's like, you know, on top of the world. Godly. We literally like, I was literally where some of you are 3 months ago. Like sometimes I could not pay my rent kind of stuff, right? Like sometimes I'm like, I don't know when to live. Like that is how stressed and small the box I was in. And so in AHG, they learned to not only think outside the box, but be outside the box. So it comes down to like prospecting, sure. Prospecting is prospecting, sure. Okay. Finding people to talk to, having conversations, sure. That's all kind of like, this is what you do, this is how you make money. But what you say and how you go into those conversations is what you learn in AHG. And then this is the most embarrassing thing in the world. If you've never recorded a call that you've been on, like a discovery call or a proposal call or whatever, and sent it to somebody who knows more than you to listen to, you have not lived. It is the most embarrassing thing on the planet because the coaches, what they do is they send them back to you with notes. Like they listen to it and then they talk over you. Like they'll pause and be like, okay, this is what I think here. And you're just like, oh my gosh, like you just want to hide under a rock. But like you learn. It forces you to learn like really fast. So like that started shifting, like my shyness, like whatever that is, like that, like I'm not a shy person, you know, I'm very bold and crazy and enthusiastic about life. Like, why wasn't I bringing that to my business? That doesn't make any sense. Like, because I had this idea that selling had to be like this certain type of thing, and then it was gross. Like, sorry. Like, I felt like selling was like evil almost, like a car salesman. You know, you think of selling, you think, oh, I'm going to buy this Silverado. And it would get that one for $29.95, you know, plus taxes, plus this makes it $50,000 or whatever. Like, that's what I think of when I think of selling. It doesn't have to be that way. Like, that's an amateur and I think, frankly, outdated way to sell. And AHG teaches you, well, at least I've learned this, is that like there are other ways to sell, and it's kind of like selling from your heart in a weird sort of corny way, right? It's selling from a different part of you, not just the part that wants money or wants business, but that like really wants to help people, and then really figure out what they need. So like maybe they don't need the shiny Silverado, maybe they just need like a Jeep, you know, what, maybe, who knows, you know, like it's to kind of like repackage what you have and sell it to them in the way that they need it. And you say like in telling them what they need to hear, but also like actually having a solution for everything. So like it comes down to like really building relationships in a way that I've never built relationships with anybody but friends. So yeah, I think that's kind of most of my mind shifts have been in that area. And then when it comes to like mindset, like Clee and Brian, before Brian left us, before Brian left us, like they had great, like there's a mindset call every week. And so you talk to like people about mindset and like, how do you get out of ruts? How do you get out of this nasty stuff? And like, it happens to everybody. So like, there's a lot of that too, like all that reframing. It's all super useful stuff. And to be completely frank, I was not good at it and I'm improving at it. So that's kind of like, as I continue through the program, as I continue to go to the calls, as I continue to learn and experience, like I keep growing. It's pleasant in ways I didn't think I could grow and I didn't think I needed to. So there's that too.
I love every single word that you just said.
Yay.
Like that's so good. Guys, by the way, if you're just hopping on real quick, just so that you have some context here, I'm interviewing one of our private clients, Kat, on how she, what's that? Is that tea, water? What you got there?
Water.
Okay, good.
Ice water. That's why it's
happening. I'm interviewing Kat, who again is one of our private clients, on how she, number one, has closed 12 grand in deals in the first what was it? 3 days, actually. I had the typo wrong. Not 6 days. It was 3 days. The first 3 days of January, but also just our overall success over the last 2-3 months in our program. So Kat, I wanted to touch on something that you mentioned about sales. I really like what you started to say there about how it's more about selling from the heart and less about kind of, traditional used car salesman sort of way. Talk to me and talk to everybody about some of the shifts and some of the specific, like maybe aha moments that you had with regards to selling specifically.
Okay. So I was the person who refused to call anybody for a week. So my first program, my first week in the program, like you get prospects pretty fast. It's actually not too difficult to get prospects, to get people to call, but like forcing myself to actually call them because business happens on the phone was super hard for me because I felt like one of those people that they call and they're like, ask if you need an extended car warranty. Like, I feel like one of those people, like, that's like, no one ever wants to freaking talk to ever. And so, like, I remember being on one of the calls and being like, I don't know if I can do this. It feels gross. And Aaron's like, why is it gross? Like, this isn't gross. Like, if they say no, they say no. But before they say no, you have no idea. You have no idea if it's actually gross. Like, you don't know. They actually might welcome a call from somebody like you. And so I freaking called like 10 minutes after that. And that was one of my big breakthroughs because, like, she answered the phone and she was super pleasant. And there was no, like, who are you? No, I don't want to buy your crap. It was more like, oh, okay, well, I'm busy. Can we call later? Can we, like, chat later? And I was like, yeah, let's set an appointment. And, like, that was like one of my biggest breakthroughs was just making that call and like just remembering that business happens on the phone. And there is like, you can make some business over the internet or whatever, but your big deals are going to come from like connecting with somebody. And since the world's kind of crazy right now and connecting in person isn't really a thing as much as it used to be like a year ago, connecting on the phone is a great way for someone to like get an impression of you and see if they want to work with you. So like, that was one of my biggest things. And then there's AHG teaches like a 1, 2, 3, right? There's a 3-part call. And that was with her, she was my first 3-part. And so I went through like, what her struggles were, what she wanted to do and all her goals in the next call. And I really got to know her as a person. And I realized that like, I wasn't just selling to her. I was literally the solution she needed. So I was like in my hands in a pretty little package. I was like, I can fix this. I can literally fix your issue. Like, yes, you're having trouble with organization, no problem. You're having trouble with like making sure all your leads are answered or getting leads, no problem, And I realized like that it's not so much about selling them a car as much as it is like connecting with them on a level that is more than just what they see. So thanks, Ken. Be like Kat. Don't, no hashtags. Like no, be like Kat, no. but like that was like that. What?
I fully support that.
Well, thanks. Yeah, of course you do, Seb. Thank you. So like that moment was like huge for me. Like that call was huge for me because I was just like, look how well I got to know somebody I don't know, and look how I can solve their issue. And she didn't have any money. She was like a newer I'm in real estate, just so you guys know. She was a newer real estate agent. She lived in Cape Cod. She had like 7 listings and no buyers. It was the middle of winter and there's only like 700 people in the town that she lives in during winter. It's big like party city during the summer. And she's like, how do I sell these listings? And I was like, this is amazing because you really do have an issue. I'm not just like selling you a car because I think your old car looks stupid. You don't have a car at all. You're literally just walking. So you need this really badly. Like this isn't like you stop walking 20 miles a day. Like I can make this easier for you. And then when I realized I could make it easier for her, I also realized I could coach her through it. And so it becomes like this whole, like, it's not just selling and making money. It's like, let me actually help you. Let me make an impact. And so like, I feel like AHG taught me that as well. Like, it's not about the $500, $7,000, whatever. It doesn't matter. The price doesn't matter. It's almost completely irrelevant, honestly. I found that like the way you connect and the way you can walk people through their issues completely trumps price, 100%. So that's kind of it. So you don't necessarily make friends, although, you get friendly, but like you teach people to be their best selves, like AHG taught me to be. well, is teaching me to be, because it's always a progress, right? It's always progress. Perfection never comes unless you're making progress anyway. So I'm still on coaching calls. I'm still getting help. Like, I'm still walking myself through all of my hangups, but like being able to walk other people through their hangups too, makes me a better salesman, because that's what it's about. It's not about selling. It's about walking people through things.
Boom. Mic drop moment after mic drop moments. Let's go. Guys, this is so good, honestly. Kat, thank you for jumping on here. This is amazing.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so something else I'm curious about is a lot of people, which I kind of get, but also really doesn't make any sense at all. A lot of people are hesitant to invest into online coaching programs and a program like Agency Hypergrowth because we're not cheap. We're not $500. We're not $1,000 course. We're a one-to-one partner program. And because of that, again, we're not the run-of-the-mill cheap course. So with that said, a lot of times people are a bit hesitant to take that step forward and essentially put their money where their mouth is.
Mm-hmm.
So can you talk to us about like what that sort of experience was like for you in terms of actually making that decision? Like if you care to share, like what sort of financial, position were you in to do it? Like, because a lot of people are like, well, I can't do it because I'm in this position, right? So what are your thoughts on all that?
Like, let me just revisit the whole can't pay my rent thing. You should not. Okay, first off, let me just disclaimer, don't take your rent money and pay HG. Please pay your rent. But my point is do not do that. However, there are many ways to be creative with your finances, and HG, like, to a point, will work with you as much as they can. And once you start like working the system and actually freaking listening to your prospective clients, listening to that kind of stuff, you will have people in your pipeline, I think is what they usually call it, in your pipeline, in your sphere, and you will start making sales, and the money that you owe them after that is going to feel, again, irrelevant. Because like the money, like it seems like a big barrier, but like it really is irrelevant because of the things that you learn and the things that, and the people that the person that you become, right? So like it might look like a big chunk of cash, and honestly, to most of us, it is a big chunk of cash, but I literally almost doubled my investment in just January. I'm just saying. And I'm not, you guys, I'm telling you right now, I am not an expert salesperson. Okay. Like I came into the HG program, like I didn't want to pick up a phone. Like I didn't want to sign up. I didn't want to buy into anything. I didn't want to give up my money at all. Like Sebastian laughing. Like I did not. Like, no offense to you lovely people, because I think you're all very lovely. And now that I've gotten to know you, I like you quite a lot in this group, but I did not like this group. I did not like being in this group. I was just like, this is just another Facebook group and another. I get it. Okay. I was that person. I was by no means an ideal prospect for AHG, but I took a leap because I needed to take a leap to reach more potential than I was. So even if you're in a corner, if you're like, I was in a corner, I was in a very small corner. I felt absolutely frustrated with my corner, but at least it was my corner, right? I knew what my corner felt like, and I liked my comfort in my corner. And it was a sucky corner, though. I would like a bigger corner, thank you very much, and maybe a hammock and an island would be nice. So I mean, so like that corner, like it sucks to be there, and I think that's the best time to like grab somebody's hand and get out of Dodge. And like it happened to be AHG, and I have no regrets, even though it's still a big chunk. Like it looks like a big chunk of cash, but like honestly, I keep saying this word, like irrelevance, like it will be. Because you become a person that knows what they're worth, and then, like AHG knows what it's worth too. And that's what it comes down to, is like you invest in that, and then they teach you how to be that in a way. So to feel worthy of that cash. So like, I'm not going to say it was like sunshine and roses and daisies and stuff. Like it was a very hard decision for me, even though Karan still sold me on one call. He had me like open up my bank account. Oh yeah. He had me like open up my information to show him like what I had and what I was coming in. And I have one big contract, you guys. I have one big contract, and it was the 13th when I was talking to Karan, and I got paid on the 15th. And over half of my contract for my payment went to AHG. And so I didn't get a paycheck that month at all. And so like sometimes you kind of just write it out because you just like take a leap of faith, because if you don't take a leap of faith, that corner is mighty fine and mighty comfy, but it's still a corner. Okay. So it wasn't easy. It will never be easy. The right thing for you will never be easy, but the wrong things often are, like eating a cupcake. But the right thing is not as simple or intuitive as that, because you're not used to it. That doesn't mean it's not good. So that's a lot. I'm just kind of, but I mean, that's kind of where like I'm coming from. It's like, I'm not coming from a place where I was just like, let's do it. Yay. I was definitely like a drag into it, but it's been worth the time and the investment in many ways. You're going to have to, it's not just like you invest money and then they leave you alone. Like they don't stop bugging you. There are at least 3, if not 4 calls a month or a week. Sorry. And then there's going to be like bi-weekly calls. They bug the crap out of you to make you successful. Like, don't think it's just like a one and done. Like there's no, as long as you like stay present, there's no way you won't be successful, honestly. So I'm glad that I got into it. I didn't know all that to begin with, but that's the conclusion I've come to. So there you go. Oh, thank you, Clee.
Kat, can I just say something?
Sure, I hope so.
I think you're really, really awesome.
Aw, thank you, Seb. I've come to appreciate you too.
Thank you. I hope so. Guys, like this might be one of my favorite client success interviews I've personally ever done. Because you're just dropping gem after gem, and it's so freaking real, and it's all from the heart, which is exactly how you sell, which is why you just close your clients back to back, and your clients love you. Like, it's just, business can be so fun and so like beautiful, really, when it's coming from an ethical, genuine, heartfelt place, like Kat is a perfect example of. Up till now, my favorite client success interview has been with Noor. But
Noor's fan. Yeah, that's big. Yeah.
But it's like right there. It's next to next.
I think he's probably still here.
So guys, by the way, if you're finding this valuable, helpful, insightful, if you like it, whatever, just drop something in the comments, get the engagement up so we can show this to more people. Okay, so Kat, what do you say to the people who are not just skeptical about actually putting the money out, but also like, the truth is, and Kat, you probably experienced some of this as well, like there's so many people out there now who run coaching programs for agencies. Like there's lots of other people you could have potentially given your money to, and a lot of people probably feel something similar. So what do you say to someone who's like kind of just skeptical of agency hypergrowth over the other programs out there?
Your skepticism is a good feeling to have, because without your skepticism, you would make a lot of stupid decisions. Now, as far as like, you're probably going to get value in other coaching programs. I'm not going to say that AHG is like the only, exactly like what Seb's saying, right? And that's not the only one out there. It's not the only one like that will give you success, but there are only 2 Aarons and 1 Sebastian, and they're fabulous. Like, they're fabulous people. And like, and I hate saying this because sometimes I bring this up, people are like, okay, but like, I'm a girl and I don't like, you know, like the bro thing. I don't like, oh, what's up, bro? Let's go. Like, I haven't really been like that, but I feel like now, like that I've gotten to this group, I realize like, it's not just like the way you say it, but it's like an energy, right? It's like the idea of like, it's like, it's not just like, okay, let's do this thing or whatever. It's more like, okay, this is the end, this is how we feel, you know? And so like when you pay for HG, when you invest in HG, you invest in Seb and Aaron and Clee and other Aaron and all that stuff too, but you invest in the energy, right? And the energy is like freaking gold. And do I know if other coaching programs have? I have no idea. Okay. I took a leap into AHG because I liked what they had to say. And I was in a place where I needed to take a leap somewhere. But like, if you're feeling skeptic, skepticism, like feeling like a skeptic, I understand, totally get it. But like also like, my gosh, like you're gonna hang out with some of the coolest people on the planet. Again, coming from someone that did not originally appreciate that kind of energy. So like they're interesting, they're trustworthy, they're honest, and they take no shit and they give no shit. So if you're like, yeah, I just didn't want to call people this week, they're like, oh hell no, no, get your ass on that stuff. I have personally listened to Sebastian. Sorry, I keep calling you Seb.
It's okay.
I just shortened everything. I've personally listened to Sebastian. Like there was somebody, and I love him dearly. He's a fantastic client, and all the people in the group that are active are fantastic. And he was going through a really hard time. It was really rough. He was going through a really rough time, and there was a lot of things going on, like in his mental, emotional state, you know. And it wasn't good. He wasn't prospecting. He wasn't getting things done. He wasn't making any money. He was just really frustrated. And he's on one of our weekly calls, and like Sebastian was like, okay, so this thing, which is a personal mental thing, like I can't address that because I don't know anything about that. But all this stuff, what the fuck, dude? Like, no, like you have to start hitting the ground. Like we have to start doing this. Like, who cares what this guy says? Who cares what this person says? Like, and it was like this like feist fest, right? It was very feisty and very interesting. It was like that energy of like the reason that in my head, Sebastian, you correct me if I'm wrong, the reason that he said all that stuff to my fellow student is because he gives a shit. So that's kind of part of what you get when you join AHG is people who actually give a crap about you and what you need, which is kind of what you want to be anyway. So what great role models, right? People who also give a crap about you. Like they give a crap about you, you take what they have and you bundle it up and you say, now I have to give a crap about my other clients. So like that is like, all of your feelings are warranted and they are valid, but good God, if that's what's holding you back, just not sure if you can trust AHG, like just throw that crap out the window. Like it doesn't, they are who they say they are, and they are who they are in these videos, and they are who they are in their literature. And Sebastian writes all that stuff, and like he is who he is, and he really has like a zero to hero story. So, which is both good and a good selling point, but also means that he has a lot of experience, and all the coaches all have that same experience, like that crappy, we've been in crappy places and we know how it is to be there and to rise above that stuff and to get better. And actually the lead coach, like it took him a year to make a sale. Like it took him a year and he kept doing it anyway. Like if he can do it and I can do it, and I'm getting better at sales, but I am nowhere near where I need to be. I can do it and he can do it, y'all can do it. And I do not know if you can get that y'all can do it in any other space. I have no idea, but I wouldn't go anywhere else looking for it because I know it's here. Yeah. Okay.
That was freaking awesome. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Like genuinely, like seriously, Kat, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate everything you're saying so much. You don't even know. Guys, I kind of just want to like leave a few seconds of space here for everyone that's watching to just kind of like take in everything Kat said.
Breathe it in.
Yeah, like let it seep into your pores. Let the aroma of Kat's queenness get into you.
Like vanilla.
Yeah, like I'm just so like this is literally why I continue to run this business. Genuinely. Like it's why I get up every single morning, and like if Clee's still watching, I don't know if she is, but like you know her obviously, and so she sees me every single day. Like this is why I keep running this company. Like I really don't give a crap about the money. Like I've had so many shitty months in this business from a revenue perspective that like it's not even about that for me anymore. That's why I'm still building my agency. Like it's just because being able to hear these things and help people just like yourself, Kat, get these results is like, this is priceless, genuinely. Side note, you will be an elite client very soon. I'm speaking that.
Oh my gosh, I don't know about that one, but we'll see.
I'm speaking it.
We'll see.
Speaking it. Just kidding. Only if it's something you actually want. Alrighty. Does anybody have any questions for Kat? We'll hang out on here. I have another call at kind of a late night tonight. I have another call at 10 my time. So I've got about probably 5 minutes or so that we'll both hang out on here with you guys. So what questions do you have for Kat? Anything about really anything that she talked about, how she's running her agency, how she's currently getting clients, sales, pricing, retention.
I have an open book.
Yeah, anything you guys want to know more about. Drop them down in the comments. Like I said, we'll probably stay on here for another couple of minutes or so. And again, guys, if you're watching this on the replay, definitely drop some comments down below as well. Let's see what we got. By the way, any last words you want to leave the good people with, Kat, while we're waiting for questions?
I don't know. I have no last word. There are no last words. Only forward, sir. There is no last, but I don't know.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, right. I got nothing for y'all. I'm not all encompassing and wise or anything like that, but if you have an agency and you're trying to run an agency, just, keep going.
I'm not all encompassing and wise.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm just not. Brian, top 3 daily activities. Journaling. I know you're going to learn about that in AHG if you want to. You're going to see this is really stupid and corny, but it's totally worth it. So it helps me. So it's like a focusing activity for me, a grounder, as you will. Calling, even when I don't want to, even if it's only one person, calling somebody and doing a disqualification call or whatever, talking to the prospect. Even when I'm like, yeah, like when I start to get like, I'm like compliant, like, yeah, I got other stuff to do. Like, I don't need more client. No. Okay. So keep doing stuff, even if you don't feel like freaking doing it. And I don't know. It is probably, AHG, hanging out, making sure that everything is good there. It's like another like grounding activity for me, which is why like we go, if you decide to enter AHG, just realize that like I comment on everything. So you're going to hear from me a lot.
I love it.
If you want to. So that's probably like my 3 like big things. Like I'm just starting like routines and stuff like that. So just getting to it, man, making sure I get to it. Do you use funnels to grab clients? No. You can. It's an option. I know there are a couple of people in our group that are pretty successful with funnels and getting appointments booked and that kind of thing. But by no means do you need to do any of that.
Yeah. So we really don't teach much in the way of like inbound acquisition funnels in agency hypergrowth. No. However, we do have a continuation sort of higher tier level mastermind after AHG, where we do teach a lot of paid advertising stuff to do inbound and a lot of more scaling things in there. So the answer is no and yes, depending on the context.
There you go. I mean, if you're just joining AHG because you are in the same place I am or a similar place than I am, like you don't need to know any of that stuff about anyway. It really, it comes down to like, keep it simple, stupid.
100%.
Reach out this way, and this way. Like, don't worry about the funnel and the complicated goodness. It's cool, but you don't need it. You're welcome, Sean.
Yep. Sweet. All right, y'all. Well, guys, this was one of my favorite client success interviews of all time. Again, this is Miss Kat. She's freaking awesome. If you want nothing else but to hang out with Kat, then you should just join Agency Hypergrowth because she's really active in the group.
I
am. But guys, with that said, if you can resonate at all with Kat's journey, and if you feel like you might be in a similar place now where you're kind of in a tight spot, but you also know that that corner that you're still sitting in, like Kat talked about, is not one you really want to stay in much longer, then I'm going to tag some some agency growth specialists from our team right now in the comments. We've got Mr. Uri, Jared, and Patricia. You can reach out to them, and if you want to know more about what it looks like to actually work with us at Agency Hypergrowth, they were all previously clients. They still run their own agencies, but they also help us out on the team as well to consult with people who might be interested in working with us. So if you're interested, guys, you want to know more, reach out to them. Again, I just tag them in the comments, and they will get you hooked up. They'll get you set up with some free trainings, and again, talk to you more about what AHG looks like. Kat, thank you so much, so much for jumping on here. This was freaking dope. I'm going to keep this pinned to the top of the group for the next like 6 months so no one can miss it.
Make it a blockbuster. Very good.
Seriously, though. All right, y'all. We're going to end the live stream. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.